Welcome all on behalf of Saraswat International Academy. Myself Satish Makwana, subject English, Standard 8th English Medium, Chapter 1, The Best Christmas Present in the World, Part 2. So students, in the last session in chapter The Best Christmas Present in the World, we had seen the narrator, Michael Morpurgo, had bought the roll-top desk from a junk shop in Bridport. And while repairing the desk, he found a secret drawer in which he found an envelope and a letter inside the envelope. Now, the address which was mentioned on the envelope was, the name was Miss Jim Macpherson, 12 Copper Beaches, Bridport, Dorset, and it was dated December 26, 1914. Now let's see, moving ahead, what is the letter about and by whom and to whom it was written and what exactly it is written inside the letter. So let's start. Dearest Connie, I write to you in much happier frame of mind because something wonderful has just happened that I must tell you about at once. We were all standing in our trenches yesterday morning, Christmas morning. So, first of all, the letter is written by Mr. Jim Macpherson to his wife, Connie. And Mr. Jim Macpherson is a leader in the England Army. Okay. Now, he's writing this letter in a very happier frame of mind. That means he is writing this letter in a very good state of mind, in a very good mood. Why? There would be an incident which he wants to share with his wife. Now, they were all standing in their trenches yesterday morning, Christmas morning. What do you mean by trenches? It's a hole digged in the ground for soldiers to hide, to be safe. So they were all standing in their trenches early morning, and it was a Christmas morning. It was crisp and quiet all about, as beautiful a morning as I have ever seen, as cold and frosty as a Christmas morning should be. So it was an early morning, it was quiet, it was cold, it was chilly and frosty. What do you mean by frosty? Like a thin layer of ice and snow was formed everywhere. So it was a very perfect Christmas morning. So Mr. Jim Macpherson was the leader of England Army, and the event which he is trying to share with his wife is the war event between German and British. I should like to able to tell you that we began it, but the truth I am ashamed to say is that Fritz began it. So now what do you mean by Fritz? Fritz is a name for a German soldier. Okay, it's a common name used in Germany. First, someone saw a white flag waving from the trenches opposite. So, what did they saw? They saw a person with a white flag waving, showing to them from their trenches, from the German side. So, and why do we show a white flag? To inform them that we are not intense, we don't have any intents to fight or to kill. It shows for peace. So one of the army men was waving a white flag from their trenches. Then they were calling out to us from across no man's land, "Happy Christmas, Tommy, Happy Christmas." So after showing the flag, they were all calling to them and wishing them, "Happy Christmas, Tommy, Happy Christmas." Now, what do you mean by Tommy? Similarly, Fritz is a common name for German soldier. Tommy is a common English name used here to British soldiers. So, British soldiers are been called Tommy as a common name. From across no man's land. Across no man's land means the area of land which is between the two borders. Okay, so they were calling from across the no man's land, wishing them Happy Christmas. Tommy, Happy Christmas. When we had got over the surprise, some of us shouted back, Same to you, Fritz, same to you. I thought that would be that. So, in return, they also wished them, Same to you, Fritz, same to you. And they found it a surprise. So, some of them also shouted back, saying, Same to you, Happy Christmas. I thought that would be that. Now, what do you mean by I thought that would be that? Jim thought ki that was all. No, just wishing each other and it would get over. We all did. But then suddenly one of them was up there in his great coat and waving a white flag. Don't shoot, lads, someone shouted. So, after wishing, they suddenly saw a man rising from their trenches, from the hole, okay, and he was wearing a heavy great coat, a heavy coat, and in his hand he was waving a white flag. Don't shoot, lads. Lads means men. Okay, so don't shoot, men. Someone shouted, and no one did. Then there was another Fritz up on the parapet, and another, keep your heads down, I told the men, it's a trick, but it wasn't. So one by one, through the long walls, parapet means through the long walls, one by one Fritz were coming out from their trenches. Okay, so what did Jim said to their men? Keep your heads down, it can be a trick, but it was not. Actually, it was not a trick. Moving ahead. One of the Germans was waving a bottle above his head. It is a Christmas day, Tommy. We have snaps. We have sausage. We meet you. Yes. So, one of the Germans was waving a bottle, was showing a bottle above his head. It's a Christmas day, Tommy. We have snaps. Now, what do you mean by snaps? It's a strong German alcohol made up of some grain. Okay. We have sausage. Now, sausage means it's a kind of a dish made up of meat and adding spices in it. Okay. Small pieces of meat and some masalas have been added, and it's a dish. We met you. Yes. So they were with the alcohol, they were with the drinks, and they were with the meat as well. So they were planning to have a get together. Okay, meeting together. By this time, there were dozens of them walking towards us across no man's land, and not a rifle with them. So once they had shown their bottle of drinks and the sausage, all the dozens of Fritz were walking towards across the no man's land, and not a rifle with them. So they were not having a rifle with them. So they were walking across the no man's land. Come on, boys, what are we waiting for? And then there was no stopping them. I was the officer. So once they approached them, so these men were like, there was no stopping them. Okay, so what are we waiting for? If they have approached us, so why are we waiting? We should also approach them. We should also welcome them. And I was the officer. I here is the Jim. So Jim was the officer at England Army, at British Army. I should have stopped them there and then, I suppose. But the truth is that it has never even occurred to me I should. So he felt that at that particular point of time, he should have stopped them. But he couldn't get the chance to even, he didn't have that thought of stopping them in his mind at all. All along their line and ours, I could see men walking slowly towards one another, grey coats, khaki coats meeting in the middle. So that particular point of time, the scene was grey coats and khaki coats were approaching each other. They were meeting together, meeting together in the middle of no man's land. And I was one of them. I was part of this. In the middle of the war, we were making peace. So it was a Christmas Eve, and Jim was also with them. He was a part of this, and in the middle of the war, they were trying to make a peace. So armies from the both the sides, from German and British, they were meeting up in the on the no man's land, and they were making peace in the middle of the war. You cannot imagine, dearest Connie, my feelings as I looked into the eyes of the Fritz officer who approached me, hand outstretched. Hans Wolf, he said, gripping my hand warmly and holding it. So he was very excited and he was feeling very happy, and was not able to, he was trying to share this feeling with his wife. So what he's writing in the letter is that you cannot imagine, Connie, what he actually felt at that point of time. So when the Fritz officer, the German officer, approached Jim, he hand outstretched means he gave his hand, he approached him with a hand for handshake. Hans Wolf, he said, gripping my hand warmly and holding it. So what was his name? His name was Hans Wolf. Gripping my hand warmly. Gripping means holding my hand warmly and holding it. A strong handshake. I am from Dualsdorf. I play the cello in the orchestra. Happy Christmas. So Dualsdorf is an industrial city. In West Germany. So where he was from? He was from Dualsdorf, from West Germany, and he used to play cello. Cello is a musical instrument, a big violin. Happy Christmas. So he wished Jim Happy Christmas. So we saw the officer's name was Hans Wolf. So he came, he had a handshake with Jim. So, Captain Jim Macpherson, I replied, and a happy Christmas to you too. I'm a school teacher from Dorset in the west of England. So, in reply, he introduced himself, Captain Jim Macpherson, and he wished him happy Christmas too. And he's a school teacher from Dorset, a place in west of England. Ah, Dorset, he smiled. I know this place. I know it very well. We shared my rum ration and his excellent sausage, and we talked. Connie, how we talked. So he smiled. Hans smiled at him and he said, okay, I know this place in west of England. And they were talking, and they had shared their rum ration, that's the alcohol drink. They had the food, the sausage, and they had talked. So Jim was not believing that how they had talked with the enemy. So he was in that sense. That was the same feeling he was sharing with his wife Connie. He spoke almost perfect English, but it turned out that he had never set foot in Dorset, never even been to England. So Hans was talking in a perfect English, almost a perfect English, and he turned out that he had never visited England or in Dorset. He had learned all he knew of England from school and from reading books in English. So from where he learned English? From the school and from the books. His favorite writer was Thomas Hardy. His favorite book, Far from the Madding Crowd. So his favorite writer was Thomas Hardy, and his favorite book was Far from the Madding Crowd. So out there in no man's land, we talked of Bathsheba and Gabriel Oak and Sergeant Troy. Now Bathsheba and Gabriel Oak. Now Bathsheba is a character from Bible, and Gabriel Oak and Sergeant Troy and Dorset, these are the characters from the novel. He had a wife and one son born just 6 months ago. As I looked about me, there were huddles of khaki and grey everywhere, all over no man's land, smoking, laughing, talking, drinking, eating. So they were discussing they were sharing about their personal experience, about their personal life, about their hobbies with each other. So Hans had one son who was just born 6 months ago, and as he looked everywhere, around themselves, they saw all the soldiers, khaki and grey, were everywhere. They were talking, they were eating, they were laughing, they were smoking. Okay, and they were enjoying their good time. Hans Wolf and I shared what was left of your wonderful Christmas cake, Connie. So even Hans Wolf and Jim, they shared the Christmas cake which was made by his wife Connie. He thought that marzipan was the best he had ever tasted. Marzipan is nothing but the layer on the cake which is made from sweet, from sugar, eggs and almonds. Almonds are badam. So it was, he had never tasted such a tasty marzipan ever. I agreed. We agreed about everything, and he was my enemy. There was a Christmas party like it, Connie. So both of them agreed on everything. They were having good fun. They were sharing their personal life. Okay, and it was like a Christmas party going on in the middle of the war on the no man's land, and that was next to he was not believing that actually happened with them. Someone, I don't know, brought out a football. Great coats were dumped in piles to make goal posts, and the next thing we knew, it was Tommy against Fritz out in the middle of no man's land. Hans Wolf and I looked on and cheered, clapping our hands and stamping our feet to keep out the cold as much as anything. So then someone suddenly got a football from nowhere, and great coats means the people who were in the grey coats, they started dumping hole to make goal post, and the next thing, there was a football match between the Tommy and Fritz in the middle of no man's land. Hans Wolf and Jim, they looked on and cheered the team, clapping their hands and stamping their feet. Now stamping their feet means they were continuously moving to keep out the cold. There was a moment when I noticed out-breaths mingling in the air between us. So there was a excitement in the environment, in the breathe, and the excitement was who would win the match. He saw it too and smiled. Jim McPherson, he said after a while, I think this is how we should resolve this war, a football match. So while seeing that, the excitement everywhere, even Jim McPherson and Hans Wolf were enjoying the football match. So Hans told Jim McPherson that no, it is a very good way to solve this war problem. We should have a football match. That is the best thing. No one dies in a football match. no children are orphaned, no wives become widows. So by keeping a football match, there won't be any death, the children won't be orphanage, and the wife, they wouldn't be widows. That's the best option, that we should keep a football match. I would prefer cricket, I told him. So what did Jim suggest? That we should have cricket. Then we Tommies could be sure of winning, probably. So England were much comfortable in playing cricket. So what did he suggest to Hens? That we should have a cricket match, and if we have a cricket match, Tommies would sure win the cricket match. We laughed at that, and together we watched the game. Sad to say, Connie, Fritz won 2-1. So what was the result? Fritz won the match with 2-1. 2 was there and 1 was of Tommy's. But as Hans Wolf generously said, our goals was wider than theirs, so it wasn't quite fair. So the officer himself, Hans, he himself generously, very being fair in the game. He said that the goal was wider than Tommy's, so it wasn't quite fair. So the match wasn't quite fair because they had a wider goal. So students, will end this session today with this much part, okay? And for the notes, you'll have to write down the meanings, the glossary which is given in the textbook for the same in your notebook, and the comprehension check which we had done in the last session, the 2 questions, as well as the meanings. You have to make sure you write those in your notebook, and the answer keys I would be giving you in the next session. Thank you so much.